So we went out in the backyard and cut a stick off a tree and whittled it and spaced it out so that the strings would sit down in there, and that's what I used to learn to play guitar with.
Hi, and welcome to Kelly, where we talk about life, your life and my life, and through Kelly, we hope to inspire. I have Dale Humphries on the show today. He is the owner of Smooth Stone Guitars. So you actually craft guitars. You're a musician yourself.
Right.
You play. So let's hit for a minute on Smooth Stone Guitars and what you do.
Okay. What I do is I build guitars from scratch, both acoustics and electrics.
Okay.
And most of the stuff I do are custom guitars. In other words, you can go to a music store and buy a high-end guitar, but it may not be in the type of wood that you want, or it may not have the inlays that you want, or something like that. And so that's how I get a lot of the customers that I have, is because they want something that's different.
Now, how'd you get into that?
It's kind of a long story. Kind of goes along with my musical path. I started playing guitar when I was 10 years old.
Okay.
I had seen Elvis Presley on TV and told my dad I want to be just like him when I grow up. And for about 3 years, I just bothered him. And finally, he bought me a guitar at a pawn shop. That led to me becoming, I call it a guitar builder. The official term is luthier.
Okay.
That's what led me to that. When he bought it, it didn't have what's called a nut in it.
Okay.
And we couldn't figure out why I wouldn't play. It didn't sound right, you know.
Because it was a used guitar?
The nut, the strings were laying down on top of the neck. They weren't standing up so you could press the strings down even. So we went out in the backyard and cut a stick off a tree and whittled it and spaced it out so that the strings would sit down in there, and that's what I used to learn to play guitar with when I was 10 years old.
Now, who taught you?
I taught myself.
Did you teach yourself?
Yeah.
I don't know. There's people that teach themselves all the time, and I can't imagine back then that you had a lot of resources on how to teach yourself. So I tried to teach myself. It didn't work out so well when I was young.
There wasn't much to go on, I'll tell you what. I bought a guitar book, a book, and it was called, or Dad bought it for me, I guess, called 4,400 Guitar Chords.
Okay, that's a lot.
And I just opened the thing up, and it really wasn't 4,400 guitar chords. It was different places along the neck to play the same chord.
Okay.
But I just learned how to change chords as fast as I could, making up songs of my own, you know, as I was going along. My grandfather on my mother's side, happened to be somewhat of a decent country guitar player. And he kind of taught me a few things. We were living in North Carolina at the time, and they were still here in Villa Rica. So when we'd come down, he'd show me some stuff. And
I always try to find in everybody's story. I'm always interested in who the mentors of their lives were. That's always so interesting to me. And a lot of times it's somebody in the family that does that. So let's talk about your music, what you play, what you like.
Okay. I play guitar.
Okay.
And I used to play, I was in a band in the 70s. And back then I played a little bit of pedal steel guitar. I played fiddle in the band, banjo in the band, electric guitar, acoustic guitar. I played a dulcimer on stage once or twice. Anything that had strings, I would figure out how to play. Okay. But right now, primarily, I just play guitar. And the style of music that I do is, it's a subset of country.
Okay.
It's called red dirt music.
Okay.
And what it is it's music that originated from all the guys in Texas. Okay, so you've got like Cody Jinks, Chris Knight, Cross Canadian Ragweed, Reckless Kelly, who's actually out of Idaho. And I lived in Idaho for 20 years and didn't even know who they were. Trying to think. Just there's about 150 guys that fall into that category. And what it is it's kind of old school country, but not really. It's
with a flair.
Yeah, it's kind of weird to describe. Every song they do tells a story.
Yeah.
It's not sitting in the pickup truck drinking beer, chasing girls with shorts on, or anything like that. It's actually a story. Each song is a
Yeah.
story song.
Yeah.
And that reckons back to when I first started playing. Mm-hmm. Is because the stories were the songs were stories.
Right.
They weren't just a good beat and easy to dance
That's
to.
what attracted me to country music in the beginning, is because you tell a story, but then it got
It's
more
progressed,
pop and
yeah.
but I love the country that tells a story.
Well, then
Like,
you need to be listening to Red
I'm
Dirt
going to.
music.
Where do people find you?
Find me. I've got a Facebook page. It's music by Dale Humphries.
Okay. So you have like your music on there where people
Yeah,
could listen?
I've got some music on there, and I've got a YouTube channel that's under Smooth Stone Guitars,
Okay.
because all the guitars that are played on there are my guitars anyway.
Okay.
And so that's, I'll send anybody that's looking to see what I sound like there. When I first started doing this work, I don't know if Dan Sills is the guy that put us in contact. When I first started this, he said, "So you play straight country?" And I said, "Yeah." So I put a couple of videos up that are "Tonight the Bottle Let Me Down" and something else, but just straight country stuff.
Right.
That's really not what I do.
Right.
But I've been lazy.
Yeah.
I've been
All right,
lazy.
you're gonna kick it up. You're gonna get some stuff on there, so when people check you out, they can
They see
can
hear
see
the
it.
new stuff.
yeah.
And I do some original stuff too. Not necessarily stuff I've written, but some friends of mine through the years that have written stuff. Jesus Scared the Hippie Out of Me.
Oh,
You know,
nice.
Black Dirt Farmer. Just then cowboy music. I mean, I lived in the Rocky Mountains for 20 years, so I ran around with a bunch of real cowboys.
Right.
So
Yeah, there's some real history. We'll just have you back and have like a story. You talk about your story of living there.
Oh yeah,
And
I'd love to
that'll
do
be
that.
that'll be a show in itself. So this is for you.
Oh, thank you.
It's just to say that you're.
So I can drink that?
Yes. You can try. Just to say that you're a gift in life, and with your stories and with what you're doing, building guitars, and your
My background, before we get out of that, I know we're short on time, but
That's okay.
before I get out of that, see, I quit college with a semester left to graduate and went on the road for 10 years.
Okay.
Then when I got tired of living out of a suitcase, I went back and got my degree in industrial engineering. So for about 28 years, I was an industrial engineer.
Okay.
And when I built my first guitar, it was a kit. But it came with blueprints. And I looked at those blueprints and I said, "Why am I buying a kit? I can read blueprints. I know what an angle is, And that's how I got into building guitars.
Wow, that's great. And you guys, check out his page, because there are some beautiful. You just showed me a picture of a guitar that you handcrafted that is just gorgeous. So, if you have any advice to give to, let's say somebody that wants to build some guitars, what are we going to say?
First thing is, if you want to do that, be willing to spend about $5,000 on special tools.
Okay.
You can buy the kit, and the kit will show you how to do it, and they're very good. There's a lot of people that make them. Martin Guitars makes them. A company called Stewart McDonald. Several companies make good kits, but they don't tell you all the tools you need.
Right.
And so by the time you have accumulated all the tools to put it together right, you're in a lot of money.
Right. And if they really want to do it, they just need to get a job with you, so then they can mentorship under you.
That's right. That's right.
What advice would you give to an upcoming, just an artist?
An artist? I think the first thing is don't compromise what you want to do. I mean, if you have a genre that you like, no matter what it is, just stick with that genre, because
it'll eventually define you.
Yeah, it will, and you'll never be happy if you're doing it just to make a living.
Right.
By the same token, you want to make a living.
You got to make a living.
So,
which is the reason people do cover songs a lot of times.
That's exactly right.
But thank you so much for being here and for sharing your gift with us. And guys, if you have any questions for Dale, where's your guitar shop? Where are you located?
In Temple.
Okay,
Georgia.
Temple, Georgia.
Yeah.
Temple, Georgia, baby. That's what
But
we
it's
do
out
there.
in the country.
That's right. We hope that this educated and inspired you.